Thank you for coming out to our meeting today. My name is Adam Watson, and this is our presentation with Ben Davis and Joshua Miller. We will present to you today our project layout for the Teton Power Plant. Part of our team, we have Susan Bossa as a project executive, and of her executive team, we have Tim Duckworth with the mechanical, Melody Voltage, overseeing electrical and control systems, Pat Oversight as a senior project manager, John Sightwide, senior superintendent, Chenille Linyard as the safety manager, and the office manager is Amy Dozen. This site of the Teton Power Plant is located in a rural area, and it's going to have two boilers that produce over 350,000 pounds of steam per hour with a single turbine generator. There will be 10,000 CY of cubic yards of concrete, 15,000 feet of above ground large bore pipe, 43,000 feet of above ground small bore pipe, and over 700,000 feet of wire and cable. There's a large field to the north that a farmer is willing to lease at a very high rate, but we believe that we can stay away from the property line, stay away from this field, and save money. Now we have broken up our proposal into three phases of the process. Phase 1 will deal from months 1 to 11, Phase 2, 12 through 17, and Phase 3 will finish up from month 18 to 36. This will help us to be able to better plan out the location of the components of the building site. When looking at the manpower loading, we can see that it'll be right in the middle of the 36 months time period that we have the most men on site. If you look at the chart, right in the middle, it is rising in a higher rate, which means there are more hours being used at that time. In going over the details, we have proposals for how we're going to deal with the compressed gases and air for the construction, what we'll do with SWIP, how to keep the dust down in the project. For temporary power, we'll have power stations that will be made available throughout the project. That will be no greater than 200 feet apart on either side of the road, on each side of the road. For waste removal, we'll have mobile dumpsters that will be brought in and out, and that will be able to be called in and taken out to a landfill. The mud debris prevention, we think a mound of dirt from relocated dirt from the project on the western, the southern, and eastern sides of the project to prevent debris and mud from getting into the main roads. And as far as security goes, we will lock up the project from the hours of 6:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. on the weekdays during normal work days, and then on the weekends and holidays as well. Phase 1, as we said, deals from months 1 through 11, and we will be building the boiler, the water treatment building, the coal crusher, we'll be starting these, coal truck unloader, and the office warehouse. Something that we would like to highlight with Phase 1 is talk about that we are planning on putting a parking lot on the west side of the project. We believe that this will be the best location for us, as it will be right next to the gate, right next to roads, and in a location that isn't affected by the end with buildings at the end. And so we will not have to redirect the flow of traffic to another spot as we start to build there. We're also putting the office trailers just to the south of it, the tool storage, and the craft change facility, so that the workers that come to work every day will not have to walk far to get ready for work. Also, a critical component of this project layout is that we will be using a crawler crane, and its boom will be a boom that has 450 feet of length. Well, to do this, it needs to be assembled on the ground, so we have an area of just north of the coal crusher where we will plan to assemble and also disassemble the boom at the end of the project. And looking at the material placing, where we'll be placing it as the material comes into play, into the project, we have planned 2 acres for the boiler components, half an acre for pre-construction, scattered throughout the project so that it will be able to be closer to the actual buildings that they're being used to build. And also structural steel requirements, as all these buildings will be made out of structural steel. And that will have about 1.25 acres worth. Moving on to phase 2, between the months of the 12th month and the 17th month, we'll start the ash storage, the turning building, active coal storage, scrubber, electric switchyard, filter building, and the raw storage. And as you can see, those are now on the plan, and we will continue with the previously amounts of acreage for the material supplies, and the scrubber components will be added in. These will be added right around the scrubber. Also, the filter components will be added in, so that we won't have to travel far or much at all to get it to the location of the actual building. And in phase 3, the last 12 months of the project, the last 18 months of the project, we will be finishing up the ash storage, the building, the active coal storage, the scrubber, electric switchyard, filter building, raw storage, and we'll start on ponds 1, 2, and 3, the stack, and the dead coal storage. Also, when we finish the office building in the middle of the project, we will return the rental trailers to the company, and we will move into the office. That way, we can begin work on the ponds, and we won't have to try and find a different spot for the office, for the management staff to work out of. We also plan to rearrange a little bit of the prefabrication. As you can see on the north side of the project, we reduced the size of the area right above the filter so that we can have that area to place the prefabricated stack, and then made a new area for the prefabrication components down in the south between the cold water treatment and the other building just to the west of it. We believe that as we move forward with this project layout, that we will find the most effectiveness in building these buildings, and the work will flow smoothly. The material will come easily, and we'll be able to build these buildings without much of difficulty. Thank you for coming to our presentation today, and that will be it.